You're on vacation, far away from home at a sunny beach. You think to yourself, I sure could use a drink. Next to the beach is a luxury resort. You walk in and ask the front desk if you could buy a drink. They bring out an icy cold beer for $15. It's pricey, but you're on vacation. You buy it. When you get back home, you decide to plan a trip to a local beach. Once again, you could use a drink. You spot a convenience store near the beach, you walk in and pick yourself out the same beer as from the resort. And then you pause. The beer is $15. The first thing you think of is how you can get this beer for $3 from the local liquor store. At that price, you could buy 5 beers. You put the beer back and walk out, outraged at the extortive prices. The beers are the same, and you're barely in the resort or the convenience store. So why were you willing to pay $15 at the resort, but not at the store? It's because, as humans, we can't evaluate products in a vacuum. The environment it's presented matters. Take packaging, for example. If you buy a phone that comes in nice packaging, the phone feels luxurious. But if it came in an unlabeled brown cardboard box, you'd get the sense that the phone is cheap. The packaging has nothing to do with the phone, but it affects how you perceive the phone. Some people are more immune to this effect than others. Poverty forces us to consider trade-offs. Do we want the $15, which could buy food, transportation, medicine, or do we want the beer now? If we were logical, we should always consider the trade-offs. Whether we got it or not, money is money, and it could be used for other opportunities. Unfortunately, that's not what we do when we have money to afford something like a $15 beer. Higher incomes result in less appreciation for the beer or phone and more appreciation for the environment or packaging it comes in. People often balk at a $20 t-shirt, but slap a $100 price tag onto it and an 80% discount, and suddenly it's a great deal. Scientists call this thinking proportional thinking. We think of things in terms of ratios and proportions. It's when we think of a $15 beer as a proportion of a $200 per day vacation, or as a proportion of the $3 cost of beer. Here's where income matters. When offered to drive 30 minutes to save $150 off an appliance like a stove or fridge, people with high incomes were more likely to drive when the discount was 10% of $1,500 than 5% on $3,000. Replace that stove or fridge with a microwave worth either $100 or $200 and a $10 discount instead, you still get people with high income driving when it's 10% than 5%, even though the $10 is not worth their time. High income people were 20% more likely to drive when the discount was 10 and 33% less likely when the discount was 5. Proportional thinking is a core cause of what personal financial advisors often call lifestyle creep, where income and expenses tend to creep up together. That increase in expenses doesn't always translate to a quality of life improvement if we don't spend it wisely. Here's some ways we can improve our ability to spend and save money. 1. Mentally prepare trade-offs to compare to your purchase ahead of time. You could spend $3,000 on an extravagant vacation, or you can spend $15 for Saturday morning brunches every week for the next 4 years. 2. Think long-term. People are less likely to recklessly spend money associated with a long-term goal like buying a house or retirement. 3. Think about money in terms of time. People often spend 20 minutes driving around to find free parking to avoid paying something like $2 per hour for paid parking. Having 20 minutes more free time is likely worth more than the buck or two you save. 4. Be attentive to ways companies trick us. Stores often place high-priced organic foods by their regular non-organic food to make their non-organic food feel cheaper in comparison. Because it feels cheaper, they can then mark up the price of the non-organics. This effect is also known as price anchoring. If you want to learn more about anchoring, check out my video on the behavioral economics of housing prices. Also, please consider subscribing if you want to learn more about how behavioral sciences drive the world around us, and consider contributing to my Patreon. Links are in the description.